Hello and welcome. We're going to get into another video. In today's video, we're going to talk about the top teams in the Open Ultra League. And before you guys, am I going to make a video about top teams in the NAIC, EUIC, which I see? I'm not sure yet, but I have to go do some stuff, and hopefully I get to record a video about that. If I don't do that, that's because I will try my best to record a video when it goes live and just like, hey guys, this is the team I'm using, you guys feel free to use it. Okay, so that's just for like a head start before we start talking about the Ultra League. Now Ultra League has been almost the same since forever, but last season we got a big community day, one of the best in the last season, and that is Tinkaton. Tinkaton get access to gigantic hammer, whatever the name of that move is. It's a steel charge move, and it's giving a very meta Pokemon like a head start, a big move, which made it kind of unbalanced in the Ultra League. So if you want to play Ultra League now, it's going to be Tinkaton and two counters to Tinkaton. You could also do Tinkaton Licky and a hard counter for both. But the question is there one Pokemon that hard counter both? I would say Registeel, but I'm actually not sure if Registeel can do it. I don't think Registeel actually can do it. It's kind of like a dead old Pokemon as well, so there's that to consider. Other than that, it's Licky is just a beast, and Tinkaton is also like a big beast. Like I think the only counter I could think that could beat both is Universe Stunfisk. I'm not sure if it actually can beat Tinkaton, but I would say also like something like Vidazine is good. If you want to beat Tinkaton, you have to make sure that you resist the Steel Charge move, because that thing actually nukes. So you want to make sure that they throw the bad charge move. So something like Swampert actually is a great counter. If you take a look at the PvP ranking, it's Tinkaton, Licky, Zygarde, Jellicent, Corviknight, Florges, Feraligatr, Verizon, Shadow Empoleon, and Galarian Moltres, and Kingdra. Kingdra is a sleeper Pokemon that I am looking forward. I'm looking to test out this Pokemon because I think it's going to be lots of fun. Like, it's just going to be like a whole shift into the Pokemon's concept. It used to be from an Octazooka spammer into now a surface spammer, which is a legit good charge move. Now, enough yapping. Before enough of the yapping. I think those three Pokemons are probably the most underrated three. Talking about Dusknoir, Grumpig, and Venusaur. Okay. You guys note that thing down? Write it down so you don't forget it. Now let's move to the top teams from top players. Who are the top players? Me. Yeah. Myself and my alts. We are the top players of this game. So the best team in, I would think, in the Ultra League, I think it's a combination of those three plus Tinkaton. You actually need Tinkaton and a Ghost, and a Dark type wouldn't be a bad idea. Now the problem about this team is just a weak team into the opposing Tinkaton. Like, you don't have a Tinkaton counter. And if you want to do that, you could just replace the Guzzlord with like a Swampert maybe, and then you will have yourself a solid, great team. The next one's going to feature Licky, as I said, is the second best. You could say it's also the best. Like, the best, like, now we kind of have two top players, you know? The thing about Licky is just it's insanely flexible, very versatile, because it has access to Shadow Ball, Body Slam, and Earthquake. So if it has Earthquake, you're gonna hit the Steel types, but I don't think you're an Earthquake. I think you just try to dish out some neutral Shadow Ball damage and pray, you know? Pray you don't need Earthquake. Shadow Ball is just very, very busted. And something I noticed, like with most of Licky teams, you kind of want to have a Virizion in the back just in case, because the way to counter Licky is that you need to resist rollout, so they rely only on non-stab charge damage. Non-stab resisted damage usually suck, so one of the ways to do it is just by having something like Verizon. Verizon, I would say, is one of the best counters to Licky. It's if not the best. You could say Cobalion is even better, but to be honest, I don't think I'm going to risk using Cobalion, because Cobalion takes super effective from Bulldoze, and I don't want to end up losing because I'm I don't want to end up losing to Bulldoze, you know, like it's just it doesn't feel right. Now, as a third, I was like, PvPoke was recommended Cresselia. I don't think Cresselia is even good in this meta. Like, Cresselia doesn't beat Licky, lose to Jellicent, lose to Tinkaton, lose to things like Annihilapes. Does it lose to Annihilate? Well, Annihilate can just 2-shield, right? With energy ahead. So I don't think it's kind of a comfortable Pokemon to use. Now, speaking of Jellicent, I think the most ideal Jellicent team would be like something like this. But also, it's weak to the stupid Billy Bolt. Billy Bolt's just stupid and very tanky and can even get tankier. And you can see the only Billy Bolt counter here, we have Virizion. But as I said, you can't counter them all, you know? You have to pick and choose and try to have their Billy Bolt on your Verizon. That's the only possible way I could think of. I like Galarian Moltres a lot. I think the best thing about Galarian Moltres is that it just destroys the stupid bird, which we will talk about next, which is Corviknight. Corviknight is good because of Tinkaton. Like it's great into Tinkaton. It's not bad into Licky. If you get a boost, I think you destroy Licky. So it's one of those like Pokemons that you have to use, because, you know, if you don't use, you're gonna end up in a very awkward situation. And because it loses to something like Billy Bolt, you have to use Billy Bolt itself, and you can use a Mud Boy. I don't think a Mud Boy would be a bad idea. I think it would be even better than Annihilate, but this is the team I could think of. Maybe use Universe Stunfisk here. Up to you, you know. The next, Florges. Florges still meta. The problem with the Florges is that we just have a better fairy type, and that fairy type is Tinkaton, but that doesn't mean you cannot use Florges anymore. Florges is still decent, still good, still playable, still usable. But Florges kinda loves the dark types, so Galarian Moltres would be a good Pokemon to pair with. And this is the team. If I am to use it, I would be using it with Stunfisk and Kanto Ninetale. Why Kanto Ninetale? We need the hardest counter to Tinkaton. You could argue that Talonflame is kinda better, but I think Ninetale is just the most underrated, and I kinda want to throw like new stuff that to remind you guys that there are more to think about. Empoleon is also one of very few Pokemons that can beat both Tinkaton and Licky. And I don't think you should be using the Shadow. The Shadow here is just a bait for those people who just skipped throughout the video. Again, Empoleon loves the Ghosts because it's one of its only ways to beat the fighters, okay? So you need to make sure that you have a Ghost. But yes, the second one doesn't have a Ghost. Articuno is a Ghost. Yeah. Try catching one. Moltres is just a third. This could be Guzzlord, but I was trying to find something that doesn't lose to the fighters, so we'd not ABA into fighters. I don't want to end up losing to stupid Prime Ape or like Annihilate, you know. Lapras is still decent, honestly, and if I would pair Lapras with something, I would be 100% pairing it with Skeldridge. Skeldridge is just a sleeper pick that people kind of forget about, I would say. As far as Annihilate works so well with something like Talonflame or Licky. The third is literally up to you, whatever you feel like is good in the meta. Don't forget that something like Togekiss exists in the meta. Okay, now I know because Licky is everywhere, people are scared the hell, like it scares the hell out of the Togekiss users, but you know, it still can hit with the Aura Sphere. And I try to keep it as short as possible, you know. And thanks so much everyone for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, night, or whatever you're having. This is another video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, or whatever you're having. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.